Hello, my name is Edward C. James, and I'm a student at Dakota State University, and I'm going to be presenting the first exploit on the 725, Infa 725, I'm sorry, and basically this one, it tells me to write the code as described on page 198 and 199. So, on my backtrack machine, I place my code for the first attack for the fuzzer right here. Each change that I made, I created a separate file. This is because otherwise I would have had to do the following command. I would have had to do reload all, and every time I made a change. So I try to avoid that, and I did the same thing on the other one, on the Surgmail. Same thing. Every change I made, I give it a specific name that I knew, so that I knew the pattern of which one was next. So basically on that note, this is the code for my first one. Set right here. This is a code according to the book. So also I had to save the code, and I already showed where I saved it, the different names I gave it. I'm supposed to load the first one on Metasploit, so I go here, I go use loader auxiliary, fuzzer, imap fuzzer a, which is the first file. That's what I loaded up. Show options, and everything has already been pre-selected. So I already give everything a name. So I usually give her a username, a username and a password, and as well as an IP address for the remote host. But all that has already been given, and also it says that on the target machine to install Surgmail and an immunity debugger, and run the Surgmail process in the immunity debugger. And I already downloaded them. They have them right here. I have them right here, immunity debugger, and Surgmail has already been downloaded, and I'm gonna run it right now. Just to file, look for it, and it's on the C drive. It's running right there. I click start, and I go here, and then I do run. And in this case, it's gonna stop right here at 1,000 at a buffer length of 1007. And this one, what I noticed, sometimes it keeps running, it kills one of the processes but not the other one, which is fine. It just demonstrates the same thing. It's just an error that I found with my machine in particular. So basically that tells me that that's where the line is drawn on that one. So on my code, there's something I need to change to make the next execution. I need to change it to under fast 1005. So basically I go fast, and I change. This is just right here. It says the point I, I put comments in that, but it doesn't matter. We don't need them all the time. So this right here, this is what I'm gonna put. So it will create an overflow big enough to bring it down. So now I do the same thing over cluster B, which is the next one. Show options. Let's see if it's still running. If it's still running, I'll just go on and kill it real quick. And this time make sure to stop it completely. Okay, there it is. So this one tells me that at that portion, it has already been killed at that. So the next thing that I need to do is to make a change so that I can pull a pattern out of it. And how I'm gonna do that, it's with by changing one of the commands, and it's gonna be this one right here, the rxct. It's gonna generate one big enough so that it's gonna allow me to get a code to do the next to pull the next information, continue with my attack. So I'll put it right there and close this. I always like with no, I don't want to suspend. I always like to start with a clean install on debugger. So I'll open it again. And once again, while it loads, I'll just go for my next one. And I'll call this one fuzzy options. already preloaded. So start it up, run it. Sometimes it does, it doesn't go through right away. Running, yeah, it's running. Sometimes it doesn't go on right away for some strange reason. There it is. You pawned it. So sometimes it doesn't react right away. But I'm gonna view the chain, and I'm gonna take a note of this number right here, 684E3368. That's a significant number because that's the next number I'm gonna utilize on my code to determine the size of the flow to determine the size of the SEE, so that the fuzzer code can continue executing. So we do that. There's this one right here, and I'm gonna start a new one for my next one so that I can be ready when that comes out. Okay, so a new window, and that is right here on the pattern offset is right here with 1,000, with an overflow of 11,000, and this number right here is the one I was looking for, 1,030. So that is significant because that's gonna allow me to create my next command or attack. This right here, fast. Oops. Cut it, and I'm gonna make the change right over here. Paste it and save it, and then load my next attack. It's gonna be use auxiliary fuzzer IMAP fuzzy 2 show options. And it's right there, so now I can just start it. This one is supposed to give me complete control of it, not a remote connection, but complete control rather. And it does the same crap basically. It doesn't execute right away sometimes. I get a little impatient with this crap, but that's the way it is sometimes, I suppose. There it is, you pawned it. So now in order to view it, I go to it's a chain, and this 42 right here represents that it's under my control supposedly. So no, it is that was just a joke with the whole supposedly thing. But I'm gonna open another one for my next attack, run it so that it can be ready, because time is money, right? And okay, on this one right here, basically I'm gonna to see what I'm up against, let's see, we'll just run this info payload Windows shell bind TCP, and it tells us what it is for, the Windows machine. So that's what we're going to be utilizing. And the next code that I'm going to be using, it's going to be this one right here. Is my that's the code for my search overflow, and so we'll run it. The first one that we run. So oops. So we use exploit Windows IMAP search overflow A, the very first one, to show options. There it is, and now we gotta get it started though. Get it started right there, and then oh, well, one thing that I almost forgot though is let me stop it real quick. I'll show it in a second. Actually, I'll just execute it for now. Let's see. Set a payload. should stop it. And it did. So basically, I'm gonna go in here, look at the chain, set right there. So now I gotta do it's already been marked. So I just gotta do Shift F9 to pass it, and this is exactly where it took place. And now it'll show right here the 41, the executable 41, 41, 41, and basically how that took place is because there's a code that I had to get, and that code is this right here. I loaded the executable here and scanned it, and my code is this one right here, the last one, but it has to be in Little Indian, so it's back. This one first, this one next, and this one next. And where I had to place it was, I'll show you, was right over here. Let's see, it was right over in this right here, but except that we said that mine was this Little Indian would be 5E, 5-1, and towards the end 7-8, and that's how it works. So in the next one, the next change that I'm gonna make to animate that one is this one right here. That's the second one. So that goes the change text effect right here. This is added. Let's see, pasting the whole thing right here. See what it does. So I gotta rerun it. Here, come here, I'm in the debugger, file, go to here, search overflow, B, debug trap, run it, exploit it, I don't have running. Show some of my options. Behaving really weird. Okay, yeah, because it takes a minute sometimes. He doesn't do it right away, but it passed it. You see, so view, jump to the keychain, and that's exactly, you see right here, this code right here. It tells us exactly the code that we were using. It tells us that it's if it's correct when we pass Shift 9, it'll jump us there, and it did. See? Oh, the one that I just skipped, it was basically the code that we had entered. I skipped it, but that was a terrible mistake. This right here, basically the jump that he had made was right over there. I mean the jump right here was right over there, but I skipped it unfortunately, but oh well, I did it correctly. So now I gotta put in the last one, which is supposed to be the one that grants us control over the system. So this one grants us the control over the system. Basically hands us the complete control over it, and at this point then we'll have control over the system. Let's see now, don't say any crash. To see, it makes a crash, and then yeah, this one, that code is to grant us control, but we'll see if it's so. And I give them different names, so I'm gonna give it a really weird name too. This one I call it search overflowy, and then oh no, this one is actually, for the first time now we're going to be using actually it's a different payload. It's going to be a Windows shell, and we gotta run it so we can exploit, because it passes automatically, so we run then we exploit. Sometimes he does that, like I said. It takes a little bit of time for the commands to go through. There it is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and nothing, not even crashing it. Unfortunately, that's the way hacking right now. Sometimes things, they don't work the way they're supposed to, but in this case it's because there's I'll show you this over here right now. Copy it. Yeah, it's because a lot of times the bad character, we don't have enough bad characters, so we add some, and upon adding some, hopefully it'll make a change. So we save it, and the next one that I saved it as Surgmail overflow, so the most serious one. Set the payload. I'm not gonna go because I would need to do a whole lot of them, so I'm not gonna hit the back button. Instead, I'll just write it again. That one won't save any time since it took me long ass time to do it. So options, everything is there, and now the exploit. This exploit should actually take me somewhere. So let's see if it does. Still running, so I hope it doesn't time out on me, because sometimes it terminates, and if it terminates, it won't work. I'll have to rerun it again, but it'll do it next time. Let's see. Has to be done several times. I swear I've done it. It's happened. We're like continuously until it creates it. But and if it doesn't, then I'll have to create another one. As long as it doesn't terminate. See, sometimes it has to be sent an incredible amount of times, and sometimes we're even better off like hopefully so I think that one froze. Inspect it real quick. So there's a jump right there, but see authentication fail. Yeah, it's because I'm supposed to run the system for, it took me too long, so I'll try to do it again. Hopefully this time is the time that it does it. There it is. Sometimes it takes a minute, but it'll do it. Meantime, I'll create the payload. Exploit. 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 The fourth one, I think. And it paused it. I don't understand why, but it did. I'm gonna pause the video and make sure I get it, and then I'll come back. Thank you for watching.